Welcome, Henrica. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So, I'm so excited for all the success you've shared with me recently over Facebook, and I got your message, and we're going to dive into all of that. But you had a beautiful launch, and really opened up your path to success and helping others. So we're gonna dive into all of that, but I would like to just get started in getting to know you, who you are, so that all the listeners will have a better understanding of where you're coming from. So can you tell us a little bit about you?
Okay, yeah. So I'm from Finland and I'm 42 years old. I'm originally artist, musician, and yeah, then I started to learn about this kind of light work and digital entrepreneur things, and yeah, that's my story in short.
Yes, yes, you were an artist. So before Lightwork, what kind of artist? What did you do? What was your life like?
I was a trained musician, like classical musician. I felt a calling for that, but it was really tough for me because I guess it's many artists have the same problem, like really hard to earn some money, really hard to get those like good gigs. Like I had lots of gigs, but really like small and not very good payments and like that. So I was really struggling with being a musician, and I was always feeling I was meant to do something big, and I thought it was to do it within the music, but I guess maybe that will be one day still, but so far I found new ways to do it. So
Yeah, so did you ever think back then that you would be a light worker? I remember you saying like,
yeah, I had these ideas of sound healing. So
oh,
I am sure it will still come at some point. It will come back to my life because it's still something. Because I have past life memories from Atlantis doing those sound healing things. So I guess they will come. But the timing is not yet, obviously. So so now, yeah, I think in some way I'm still doing the same thing. Like I'm expressing something that I have inside myself, but now it's just a different medium how it comes out.
yeah. So when you were struggling artist and you were wondering like, I think I'm meant to do something big, something more than struggle.
Yes.
And feeling that inner desire to thrive as something that's coded to each and every, all of us. We're meant to be in abundance and not the scarcity. But what kind of fears did you have thinking where you were and to achieving that next level?
Yeah, like within music, I was so unsure. Like I really thought I can do it. Like I have classical training, and that's quite hard for the psyche. Like it's so hierarchic, like and competitive. So I was really not thinking I can do a lot. Like I was very, very scared of, like I had this vision of having a big impact in the world, but I really didn't believe I can do anything like that.
Mhm. Yeah. And then how did you find High Priestess CEO training with me?
Actually, that's a funny story because it happened. I was on a travel in a music gig. I was traveling, and I missed my flight. So I had to stay one night in the hotel in the airport. Oh, the flight actually it was delayed. So on my way from the airport with the bus to the hotel, I was on my phone, and your ad just showed up in that moment. And I was really like, what's this? Like, this is interesting. And the whole time I spent in that hotel, I just checked all your materials, what I could find, like I was Googling and like that. And I signed up for some of your freebies, and I was listing things about abundance. And I was thinking like, wow, like this is really something what I need. And the funny part of the story is the next day I was supposed to go to that flight, which was delayed. And I had checked the time wrong. So I missed that flight. And I really needed to go home because my kid was waiting. Like she was already disappointed I was one day late. So I went to the ticket sales and said, like, I need the next ticket to Helsinki. Like, what's my options? And they just told me, like, there is no other options. There's only this first class ticket. And I'm like, oh, it was 800 euros. And for me at that time, it was like a catastrophe. It was more than I like earned in 1 month almost. So,
Yeah.
and then I remember thinking like, what was she really teaching there about abundance? Like, this is going the exactly wrong way now. So then I bought that ticket. I borrowed some money. I bought that ticket, and I decided on that point, like the whole flight, I will sit in the first like class, business class, and I will use that time to change this thing, to change my understanding of how to do money. So so that was how it started, like very powerful.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm getting chills all over my body. Like, wow. And I am so grateful and so humbled and so amazed that, a random thing you saw, heard, maybe a podcast episode, something, and it just, made it started and initiated that shift. Wow. So thank you for sharing that. I never heard that you shared that story before. You've shared some things, but that was a new one. Okay, so you came back, and is that when you joined my
No, actually, by that time I was even more like out of money than before because obviously I used to, like I spent more money what I got from that gig. So really I had a hard time to join. So actually I think it went like you had some downsell product which wasn't that much expensive, and so I decided to sign up for that one, and it was something about abundance mindset.
Yes.
Like this in Finnish, this kultainen rahajumalatar. I don't know if you have the program.
Yes, golden goddess. Yes.
Yeah. Like it had to do with money, so it helped me a lot. Like really, because that's where it started to really change my understanding of what's it about. And then I have another funny story to tell about when I actually decided to join the big course, and I really wanted to join, and still I didn't have money on my account, and I had like 0 on my account, and I knew like I was going to get a salary from one gig, like maybe after 2 days or so. So and the sign up was like within few hours or like that, and I was really like checking my bank, like I still, the money didn't come, obviously, because it will come after a few days. And I remember I was sending you a message on Facebook, like, please, Anu, is there any possibility I can sign in a couple of days, like when I get my money? And I remember you replied me something, and then I went to check my bank, and the money had come, like the exact amount what I needed to sign up for that course. Like that payment come earlier. So it was really amazing. And it was obvious for me, like I had 0 on my bank account and I had to survive the rest of the month, and I get one payment on my bank account. I immediately sign up for this course. There was like no choice that I would think like, okay, I had to save for my food or something. It was really like, okay, no, now I'm going.
Wow. So you must have had some really core trust in the universe, in taking care of you?
It was just something like, within yourself, like, I don't have a choice anymore. Like you're giving one option and take it or not. And I was really like, I there is no other choice really.
Yeah.
Because it was really the life of that time. I had always zero on my bank account. I was also like, I was buying groceries on my Visa card. So my Visa bill was growing every month. And when I get some money, I just paid back the Visa bills and just had to buy again on the Visa card. So like, it was really like, I really needed to change that. And I saw this is my chance to get out.
Yeah. So now you're in my vortex. You're in the program, and you still don't know exactly what you're going to do, right? You don't have, or did you already have, like, when entering, that you feel like, oh, I think this is what I want to do?
Oh, I had no clue. I had really no clue. Like, I started from less than zero, like, seriously. Like, I remember signing up like, oh, there is also this thing about some kind of healing method, but I will not do that kind of healing things. Like, it's not my thing. I signed up because the entrepreneur things. So really, I started from zero. I had no clue whatsoever. And
Yeah.
I had no idea. Like, I remember many times I was doing these meditations about what's your soul purpose, or what's that in English, like the message, your soul message. And every time I'm trying to make it fit into that music, because I'm thinking, well, music is the only thing I actually know something about. So I tried with my mind to make it like, okay, it has to be something, well, sound healing, because obviously that's something to do with music and healing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of struggle. I really didn't have a clue what I'm doing.
Right. And within the High Priestess CEO program, I teach this, and you kind of mentioned that there was a modality. So I teach angel light hypnosis, which is something I created with the angels some 20 years ago, and have taught this to hundreds of light workers. And so to everybody listening, my students go through this modality, part of the training, if they so choose, and it's a magical tool, and they do trades with each other. And you did a trade with another fellow student, and can you tell me exactly what happened when you did that?
Yeah, actually, we did really lots of them, and they were so useful. Like, in the beginning, it really helped me because I started to get past life memories from both Atlantis and ancient matriarchy, which was super interesting. But yeah, then, well, this is maybe a fast forward, because this one, what we are now talking about, it happened actually after I already finished this whole thing. So we still keep up with those students, and we do exchanges. So this particular one was already, I was finished from that program and already started my online business things, but I still struggled like really with my soul mission, because at that point I already heard my inner voice, but my soul message is very connected to this dark feminine and sexual energy, which is very demonized. And I was feeling so unsure about this thing. I was thinking like, okay, inside myself, I know this is a really, really powerful tool, but it's such a thing, like really hard to speak in public, and really hard to like open up even for the closest friends of mine, and like this. And yeah, then I had this one session with a fellow student, and I ended up in a cosmic yoni temple, like in a cosmic yoni, basically, like a yoni. And it was pink and soft, and I was feeling like, so this is so like the pleasure and the softness and everything like this. And then suddenly I'm in this like heavenly cosmic temple. There is something black, like latex black. And I'm really like, whoa, this was cool. Like, what's this thing? And then I start to get the idea of like dark feminine coming through. Like normally when we do this session, if something black appears, and she also did the one who was coaching me through this experience, she was immediately catching, okay, black means there is some energy what we needs to clean up or like that. So she started that kind of process, and I'm like, no, this is a different black. Like this is the dominatrix black. So at that moment, I started to download this powerful energy, the dark feminine energy. Like the download was so strong, like I couldn't in that moment understand what's it even. I just feel like now information is coming, like huge amount of information. Actually, it's more than 1 year ago, and still I get like just a couple of days ago, I realized like, wow, actually this was something from that download. Like it took a long time for my, still probably there is things which are not come through yet. So very, very lots of information came down. So the most important thing was what I realized, like we have this idea of feminine being pink and soft and love and light and this thing. And we have this absolutely wonderful dark feminine dominatrix energy. Yeah. We need both. We really need both. Like if we are only in this pink thing, we are vulnerable, or we are like, we easily just give too much and we don't have boundaries. So we need this dominatrix energy to feel like the power is within us, and we are the one to make our standards of how people can like be towards us, and you know, these kind of things. So it was really interesting, like when I came back from that place, like back to my like normal state of like of consciousness, I was a little bit, I was able to explain for my what should I call her in this place, like therapist who held that session for me. During that experience, I was able to explain some things, but not at all everything. So when I'm back in my normal state of consciousness, I'm realizing like, wow, now this is the thing what I'm doing here, and I need to put this into a course. And I told her, like, I don't even explain so much about that course. I will probably, I just said like, okay, yeah, I need to do a course maybe around this. And she was like, I'm signed up already. Because it was so powerful. Like she also saw like, this is now something really coming through now. And, you know, the same day, this was in the morning, I had this session. And well, then we closed up, and I said goodbye. And the next thing I'm doing, I'm posting on my Instagram, like, I will be launching this kind of course. Like, is someone interested? And there was like suddenly so much people wanted this course. And I was like, oh, I think I need to put up some landing page or something. Like I didn't really had the time to plan anything like for my launching. So in this moment, it was so good that I had gone through all of this, like in your training, this how to launch and how to build websites, how to build that landing page, you know, because I had to do it. There was so many people waiting, like people keep sending me like these DMs that, where is the link? Where can I sign up? And I'm like,
right. Because we need the balance of, everybody talks about the light feminine. I talk about the light feminine. I talk about crystalline goddess, of high priestess, and I feel like the crystalline goddess and the high priestess, they are in balance with both the light and the dark, but it's more like from a perspective of the light. And you're
Yeah.
so right. We need a different voice also just to express that it is safe for the dark
Yeah.
feminine to be, because it
Yeah.
is the yin and the yang inside the sacred feminine.
Yes.
And of course, the dark feminine can be toxic and can be crazy, it can be wild, it
And
can
light
be
feminine can also be toxic.
yes, absolutely. But what it can really do is can be that transformational force and
Absolutely.
a
Absolutely.
power to heal and
Yes.
change the world. So
Yeah.
like there's both sides in both sides.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
you do is so powerful and so brave, because there is a lot of like you said, demonizing that topic. It's like we're only supposed to consider the feminine as this nurturing, but that's the light
Yeah.
feminine, which is inside all of us, but we also we can't just take care of half of ourselves. So I love it. That's why, you know, you're right on the money, should I say.
Yeah.
And really transform, helping those people who feel that calling and connect with it. So let's talk about, okay, so all you did is basically, I mean, you were obviously using, you know, your voice to share. And what were you doing? Like you were on social media, you were activating your soul client.
Well, one very, very useful tool what I got from this training was this mail list, like very practical thing what I have been keep posting like a long time already before because when I started then launching this my suddenly from nowhere thing, then it was really useful to have. I already had a mailing list for, I don't know, more than 600 people on my list, I guess. So it was very, very useful. And at that point of time, I had been doing all of these things, what you taught in that training, like to share from your heart, like to come out with that voice, even if I didn't knew before this session, I didn't know exactly what I'm doing, but I still knew close enough, like the energy.
Yeah.
Like, even if I didn't know the specific things, but the energy I was sharing a long time on in my social media. So yeah, those tools very important. And also like I got the courage to do like Instagram lives, to just be with people and also just speak, be yourself, these kind of things, like very, very useful things.
Yeah. So first, you launched, and you had your first launch was a 10K launch.
Yeah.
Right. And now, so what happened just, you know, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. So yeah, then I had this my first course, and it was a 10K thing, and it was a 4-week course. So I was pretty like happy with that, because it just came so out of the blue, and I just did it, and wow, it works. So I wanted to launch again, and yeah, this time I actually built it. Like I'm doing basically the same course, but I added someone in my team to co-teach. Someone who was in my first course, actually, she signed up to that my first course, and then she like something opened up for her. She understood so much, and I'm so proud, like she's even better than me. So yeah, she's teaching now in this course what I have now. So
Wow.
yeah, this course I launched like I had a plan to launch, like more serious plan than the previous, like the first attempt. So I really had some dates and some kind of strategy around it. Still, I didn't manage to do any kind of paid ads, because my topic is really hard. Like, you know, having picture of myself in sexy clothes, it's like bad for Instagram. So I can't, like, they will ban me if I put any ads. Like,
Yeah.
still I'm a little bit shadow banned, but the ads are really like they don't go through. Like it, I just don't have that possibility. So yeah, I was just then posting like as normally, but very actively, and posting also on my mail list. And yeah, now I have 35 people on my course and it sells like 28K.
In euros.
Or I guess that's
Wow.
30K in dollars.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's amazing. I
Congratulations.
still can't believe it. Like, yeah, it's
Tell me
wonderful.
more about like what were you feeling when those like enrollments were rolling in and like, oh my gosh, and you were texting me like, oh, it's 10K, oh my gosh, oh, it's 16K, what? It's you were sharing those like this like, oh my gosh, no,
Yeah.
it's so much and
You know, actually, really, it started a bit slow because it was my first time I signed up for Kajabi. And I was thinking like, okay, this is an investment. So I hope I will get at least someone in this course. So you know, when I had 4 people enrolled, I was already like, oh, thank God, like at least I will not like lose money on this. So you know, it was like really every time there came one more, I'm like, oh my God, there is one more. Like I'm texting all the people. Like I live in a commune, so it's kind of, I have a quite big family, so I'm keeping them updated on our Telegram. Like, no, there is one more coming, and it's like scores in a Eurovision context or something. Like you feel like the it's so exciting to like. And first time when I hit that 20K, I was really like, I can't believe, like, this is insane, like this is not even possible. And then it just keeps going and going. And you know, the last one was actually last weekend I got one more even to sign up. Like even if I started the course 2 weeks ago, there is still people keep asking me like, this is wonderful, like I really want to join, is there still possibility to join? So I don't know, I might have some more coming up still. So
amazing, congratulations. That's like, I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy for everybody who joined your course, because obviously they're going to be learning amazing things.
Oh, yeah.
So
we have such amazing energy in that course. It was already during the first one. Like we have a Telegram group which is just around the topic, and those women, they are fire. We keep, that's like, if I have like 2 hours away from my phone, then I pick it up, I already have like 40 messages on our group, and like they're really into this thing. Because as one of them said, like she explained it like this, that I knew this everything, I had everything already within me, but now when you put words on it, now I feel like I can open up about this thing. So they are really ready for this, like they already have it, like I'm only there to say like, now you are allowed to do this.
yeah. So how do you feel, how has your relationship with money changed in the past couple weeks?
Yeah. So the biggest thing I realized is it's not about the numbers on your bank account. It's actually about energy. Well, this is what you were teaching from the beginning, but now I really understood what that's about, because now I feel a very different level of what's the word? Itseluottamus in Finnish. What's that in English? Confidence, yeah. Like a confidence as entrepreneur. And yeah. I feel like now I actually have the authority to speak about things, because people really appreciate what I'm doing. So well, this is basically what I teach my students also. Like you have to have a price for your service, because that's also about how much they appreciate the service what you give. But it's the same for me. Like when people really want to pay this much, it means this is something really powerful what I have to give them. So I feel my confidence as entrepreneur has been like huge rise. So yeah, like I
like embodying that abundance, not just having the money on account, but
yes,
really feeling like rich on the inside. It's it's going to allow you, it's going to help you to give more, to
Yes,
stand more in your power,
exactly.
be more
Yeah.
aligned with other things, what other areas in your life as well. So money is an interesting frequency, and a lot of times light workers are kind of keeping money away because we feel like, well, maybe money isn't, I don't want money, I just want to help people. But actually we realize that money is a tool for us to help people. It changes our frequency,
Yeah.
and it heals a lot of areas in the life too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if I like the older me, maybe would have been like happy with the small amount of money, and then I would have just like, okay, this is my money, and now I go buy food or something like that. But now when I have like this amount of money, I actually like, it's different. Like, I'm not thinking like, how do I spend this money? No, I'm rather thinking like, wow, I have this powerful message, so how can I grow with this message? Like, this is the point.
Yeah.
Not the money in itself, but the money is like an indicator of like it's somehow validating the message. For me, I feel like that, like my message is valid because people want to pay for it.
Yes. I'm getting chills, like the whole time we're talking, I'm getting like, yes, it feels so good. I feel like you're on fire, your clients are on fire, I'm on fire, and hopefully everybody listening are on fire as well and feeling inspired of what can be done. It's so beautiful to witness your success. And so what are your plans now? Like, are you going to continue relaunching? Obviously you're going to go through this, but what is your next step?
Well, now when you're asking, like, it's been keeping going on in my head, like translating into English. So I guess I'm going international at some point. I had the idea also to, like, now what I'm having now is a 7-week long course. So one of my plan was to make it like a bigger coaching program, like maybe half year long or something like that. But at the same time, I keep hearing these things going on in English in my head.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know at this point yet what I'm doing. Well, I'm finishing this course first, and then I will listen to myself, because this is something I really learned, because I tried to launch this course also in between a couple of times even, and during those times I didn't feel the calling from myself inside. I was just doing it because I was thinking, well, this is what I have to do, like I'm supposed to do this, so yeah, let's just do it, like a little bit forcing it, and it didn't work. So I really learned that you shouldn't plan too much in advance. Like, you have to keep listening to the intuition. Like, when the time is right, even if you don't have any plans, you can still do it.
Yes.
Of course, you need to know some basic things how it works, but I mean, like, you can't schedule it too much, because it's so much about energy flow. And like, I guess it's like when you go fishing, like fishermen knows there is specific times when you get the fish, and they don't go in the wrong times to get the fish, because it's just waste of time. So I guess it's a similar thing.
Yeah, I love that. And also different people, like some people feel like the need to plan, but like I'm one of those people. I plan a lot, but then I don't follow those plans. I do what you do anyway. I'm like, okay, I have a great the plan is kind of like a way for me to just organize my thoughts, I guess. But then whether I follow that or not is mostly like whatever I'm truly guided and feeling aligned, because the world is changing every second too. We can't plan too far ahead, but it's good to have those plans in place and systems and all of that to support and create that container for your creativity and allowing yourself to thrive in that. But yeah, so Henrica, let's imagine somebody you care about is wondering if they can do the same that you have done. Maybe they're afraid to invest in themselves because they're struggling, just remembering you. like in the past when it was such a big deal for you, and they truly want, but they truly want to help others. They feel like, I have a calling, but I'm too, whatever. It could be maybe I don't have money, or maybe I don't have time, or they're just like feeling stuck within themselves, change their lives. What would you say if they're on the fence? What would you say to that person?
I think that person really, like, you should trust your heart. Like, there is nothing else in life actually what can bring you on the right path than your heart. And if you feel like this is the thing, you really should have to follow that, because that's the point of the life, truly. Like,
Yes.
you can, like, what's your options? Like, you can continue having that struggle forever if you don't make another choice. So really, like, I know this sounds a bit like everyone says this, but at this point when I'm looking back, like, I was so much not believing anything of this, and I was so much thinking like, this is shit, like, well, good for them who it works for, but it like, yeah.
Yes.
And still, like, if I managed to do this, like, wow, me, I started from less than zero. Like, I had debts, and I had so much, like, weird programming in my mind and these kind of things. Like, anyone can do it, but it's possible. Like, really, like, at this point, I believe everything is possible. Like, before I started, I didn't believe anything is possible, but this is how I changed.
Yeah. And sometimes if we have those deep programming, may take a little while, but when you get there, you're going to be grateful that you took those steps and you stayed with it.
Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
I totally, I feel gratitude. Like, I keep journaling every morning. This is something I learned from you. So, like, and every morning I want just to explain how grateful I am to myself. Like, I'm thanking myself, like, wow, like, I really did this work. Like, it's insane when I look back, like, the amount of work what it has taken. And yet there is no other way than take the responsibility of that work. Like, no one will do this for you. Like, you can struggle on forever until you do this. There is no other options, really. Like, there is no things that, well, you are lucky or something like that. Like, it's everything about how you create your own life.
Yes. It's beautifully said. Wow, Henrica, thank you so much for that encouragement. And I'm feeling it. I'm so excited for everybody who heard this, because yes, we can continue struggling, or we can go towards our highest timeline. We can choose that right now and choose the highest path. And in 2 or 3 years, or 1, 2, 3 years, find ourselves in that spot where we're like you are now, like, wow, amazing, I did it. And you're so grateful. And that's so beautiful, what you have accomplished and what you're doing, and how you're sharing your passion, how you're living authentically, with unapologetically, without shame. You're claiming your feminine power, and that is just beautiful. So is there anything else that you would like to share?
Yeah, I actually had this understanding of money, which is, I could still share it. You know, I learned this from you, but I understood it just recently. So this is how to upgrade your abundance level. So back in times, like, if I had 10 euros, if I spent 10 euros, I was feeling like, wow, this is quite a lot, but I'm spending this much money. Also, if I got money, if I got like 10 euros, I was feeling like, oh, I got lots of money. And then when my abundance mindset starts growing, I have to calibrate myself again and again. Like, suddenly I'm thinking like, okay, something is 100 euros, like, okay, that feels a bit expensive, but yeah, I can do it. And at the same time, if I get 100 euros, I feel like this is quite a lot of money, but yeah, cool. So when I start upgrading, it's like I had to put my level of what's normal, what's my basic, like a baseline. So before, if it was 10 euros, I had to upgrade it, like, okay, now I'm operating on this 100 euros level.
Mhm.
And then when I go next level, I go to 1000, and I start to feeling like, yeah, 1000 euro, that's my normal. I can do 1000 euro investments, and I can get 1000 euro money, like generate that. And then I hit the next level, like 10K starts to be like, wow, like I'm there now, like, wow, like now I have a possibility to do get 10K investments, like, wow, like how the world is expanding when you do like that. So at this point, if I look back, I feel like 10 euros, like how I could think that was like too much investment, like
Yeah.
it's really funny, but you know, I keep doing this calibrating things. So now I have with this last launching, I had to really fast calibrate my understanding of money, so that this 20K, like I instead of thinking like, oh my god, or I was like this oh my god, so I had to calibrate it really fast to, no, this is my normal.
This
This is
is
my
your new
normal,
normal.
20K.
Yeah.
This is my
Yeah.
normal.
Yes. I love it. I remember sharing that because that was my experience as well, you know, with the money. Like, I remember very well how 10 euros was a big thing. Like, should I buy this lunch or should I not buy this lunch? And oh, I better save it so I can go buy milk or, you know, something more like, and then it was 100, and then it was 1,000, and then it was 10,000, and it's like it just shifts, and now it's basically in 100,000s, and it's like
Yeah.
it changes, you know, like um what you can like invest, receive and invest. So
Both ways.
yeah, it goes always both ways. Like if you feel $1,000 is too much for you to receive, you're not going to be able to invest in yourself, in your business, that amount. And same with 10K. Like if you can receive it, you can also invest it out. And that's you know, a good way of also testing out that you are actually embodying that frequency, because it always takes you to the next level and to the next level. So that's a beautiful, beautiful share. Thank you for that, because I think that is a powerful realization when you really get it.
Yeah.
So where can we find you? You mentioned that maybe there's something English coming up soon, so maybe some people are on fire, they want to know more.
Yeah. So I'm on Instagram with this Finnish name Kuuninjotar, which maybe needs to be typed somewhere in the description.
Yeah, I'll make sure that the link will be in the show notes. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm very active on Instagram, and probably, yeah, I should have to start an English profile as well. But so far I'm there in Finnish, and yeah, anyone is welcome to follow.
Yeah, or send you a DM or something, and connect with you, and make sure that when you're ready to open, the right people will be already connected. Yeah, I'm so excited for you to see what comes next. I know it's going to be great things, and congratulations on your launch, and good luck with you know, leading these people through their transformation. Is going to be a beautiful journey. Thank you so much for being
and
here.
thank you for helping me on this journey, like really, really, really.